Yo, what's going on? Swaz Nation, SuozziVille here, and welcome to Philadelphia. Right behind me is the Benjamin Franklin. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's on the $100 bill. We're here at the Franklin Institute to check out some of the new exhibits they've added recently, and boy, am I glad to be back. I haven't been here in like 4 years. I hear they've got a new Marvel exhibit. They've got an escape room, which I've always wanted to try, and I'm hoping to get as much of that on video as possible. It should be fun. What do you think, Ben? Sounds great. Anyway, let's get started. And this right here is the first ever Marvel comic published in 1939. Oh my god, that's so cool. This is so much cooler than the AR version. Let's go! Where has Red Wing been at this whole time? I did not notice about Falcon. No, apparently he has a pet bird and like has like a mental connection to it. It's so cool. Well guys, it's a hard decision, but hey, there we go. Oh, this is cool. How many other people voted? 5%? Oh my god, they have the awesome mix. I don't know why I'm surprised by this, but I am. Oh my god. I've got the orb right next to it. That's sick. Alright guys, we're currently in the escape room. I'm going to share my thoughts on the Marvel exhibit a little later, but here's the short version. It was awesome! Alright, Swaz Nation, what's up? We are actually in New Jersey now. I got back from the hotel really late last night, so I didn't really get a chance to record this last part of the video until, like, right now. Anyway, the Franklin Institute's Marvel exhibit, in one word, was amazing. They had everything. Seriously, they had all the costumes, all the props and stuff that you were seeing in my montage. Those are all the actual things from all the movies. Everything. From Loki's helmet, to the Tesseract, to Iron Man's suits, to Spider-Man's costume. Fun facts for you, the web pattern on that was actually 3D printed. To Mjolnir, which I thought was so cool, because we've got one at home. You've seen me use it in some of my videos before. But like, that was like the real deal. My only theme with the exhibit as a whole was that they didn't have Stormbreaker or the Infinity Gauntlet on display. But I kind of get it. Stormbreaker is still relatively new to the MCU, So there's probably only one of it in existence right now, whereas with Mjolnir there's like 10 to 15. And as for the Infinity Gauntlet, I would have to assume that was all done with like CGI stuff, because that thing looks like it would be like so expensive to make. Like that thing looks like it's like pure gold and stuff. But we did see some of the items that did house the Infinity Stones at some point during the Infinity Saga, which I thought was really cool. And also, can we just talk about like the giant Groot head they had in like the Guardians of the Galaxy part of the exhibit? Seriously, there was an insane amount of detail put in that thing, and you could just tell based off like all the little plants and stuff that were like growing out of him. I thought that was awesome. Plus, there was some stuff before the exhibit that I didn't really get on video because I wasn't sure if the museum would allow me to for like copyright reasons and stuff. There was a whole video we were watching about how Marvel Comics, like the whole Marvel universe, got started, and it wasn't actually because of Stan Lee. He became the creative head of it at some point, but he started out in like the publishing industry, and apparently there was this whole craze going on when comic books that didn't have to do with superheroes, comic books that were about like horror themes and stuff, started being released to the public, and like concerned parents thought that those comic books, in fact comic books in general, were bad for children, so it would have like comic book burnings. And I heard this and I was like, oh my god, I never would have imagined something like this happening. And to me this sounded very similar to like the book burnings that the Nazis had during the Holocaust. And what they basically did was the Nazis would take any books that they believed to be bad for any children they were training to become like part of their Nazi party, and they just burned them. And I was like, this sounds very similar to that, because the parents are burning comic books because they believe they're bad for children. And I thought, no one questioned this at the time, but thankfully comic books are still around today, and as a matter of fact, if we had never entered World War II in the first place, like Marvel Comics or comic books as a whole would most likely have never taken off, according to the video, which I thought was really interesting. And as you saw in the montage, like we actually got to see like the first ever Marvel comic ever made, which I thought was really cool. Seriously, if you are ever in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at any point in the coming months, you've got to check out this exhibit. I'm going to be leaving a link to their website in the description. Again, this place is called the Franklin Institute, and you've got to check this out. This like the Marvel exhibit is like one of many like special exhibits the museum does every year. Like when I went to the Franklin Institute a couple years ago, they had this giant Lego exhibit where they recreated all kinds of like major structures and stuff made out of Legos. They had one of like the Atlas statue out by Rockefeller Center. They had one of like the Eiffel Tower and like the Sphinx. It was really cool. So who knows how much longer the Marvel exhibit is going to be at the Franklin Institute. I would have to assume until January 1st of 2020. So if you really want to see this exhibit, make sure to go see it as soon as possible. Believe me, those tickets were so hard to get. And as for the escape room, as you saw me say like a few minutes ago in the video, I unfortunately wasn't allowed to video anything while we were doing the escape room, but I met some really cool people. There was like this one like Girl Scout troop that was there, and it was like their last trip as a troop. We were all doing the escape rooms together. We all got acquainted before it started. And so shout out to all the people who were in the escape room with me and my brother. You basically carried us because, as I said earlier in the video, that was my first time doing an escape room. But the next time I do one, which will hopefully be soon, I know what to expect now. I just have to like overanalyze everything, check everywhere I could possibly think there couldn't be a clue, because I was checking all the places where I thought there would be a clue. But they basically carried us, and it was a lot of fun. We all kind of bonded a bit, and it was really cool. So shout out to all those people. Shout out to the Franklin Institute for adding escape rooms to their museum. They had like multiple options. Mine was set on an island, as you saw me mention, and then there was like two other ones set out in space. So I'm really hoping to do one of the space escape rooms the next time I'm at the Franklin Institute. So again, I'll be leaving the link to their website in the description. Be sure to go check them out. They're really cool, you guys. And I'll catch you for the next one. Peace out, Swaz Nation.